everyone, it's Froggy, and I'm back again with some more Willow Wonderful World. There's a syringe in his hand. Alright, that's not gonna work. I held him tightly. He unzipped his pants. Alright, we'll try that. I choked the neck of the guard in front. But I didn't want to kill either of them. There was no reason to punish them. Besides, as long as I could get out of here, there would be nothing they could do about me. But my fists were no match for a gun. While I was struggling with one guard, the other twin walked into the room. "Hey, what are you doing?" He pulled out his gun and shot me in the shoulder. A staggering pain spread through my whole body from my shoulder. I had to let go of his brother and stumble back, leaning against the wall. In the end, the other two were not able to escape either. The plan ended up being a total failure. A syringe fell out of his hand. It went through the grate and somehow jabbed, right into my shoulder. I felt a chill spreading from the needle to my entire body. I closed my eyes and opened them again. I was lying in a clean but strange house. Alicia was sitting by my bed, looking at me and caressing my hair, just like she used to do. I had not seen her for 9 years. She still looked so beautiful, so young. "Alicia, I miss you." Even though I knew it wasn't real, I still couldn't control myself from calling out to her. That was how powerful the drug was. When I came to my senses again, I was lying in the medical room of the prison. I finally realized that the plan had failed. Hold on a second. Morgan took out a syringe and aimed at his arm. But the needle did not go into his arm and he dropped it. Oh no, oh God. Just when Morgan was wondering where the syringe had gone, voices came out from under the window. "Carlos, you idiot. We were so screwed." I mean, he got stabbed. What do you want? Oh, here, let's do... Pulled my cap lower, maybe, to avoid getting hit in the face. A syringe fell out of his hand. It went through the grate and so we're still just getting the same thing. "Hey, what are you looking at? Carlos?" I closed my eyes and opened them again. I was sitting in a huge, bright white bathhouse. Alicia was giving me a bath and rinsing my hair. I had not seen her for 9 years, so she looked so beautiful and young. The shampoo smelled so nice. And the water felt just right. The bubbling water came down from my hair and accidentally went into my nose and mouth, and I coughed a little. For whatever reason, more and more people showed up to the bathhouse. Some of them were still wearing clothes. One of them pushed me off my stool. When I fell to the ground, I saw that Alicia had disappeared. When I came to my senses once again, I was lying in the medical room of the prison. I finally realized that the plan had failed. Hold on a second. Morgan unzipped his pants, started doing his thing without turning away. Oh no. That was, oh God. To make things worse, he even dropped his syringe that he had in his hand as he was zipping his pants back up. The syringe fell through the gate. I heard someone cough under the window. "Carlos, you idiot, we're so screwed." Okay. Okay, so we have to have the syringe here. This is the only way for it not to work out badly. Okay. I held my breath and pushed my back against the wall. The footsteps were getting closer and closer, and I could even hear the bottom of their boots rubbing against the doorframe. I grabbed at the door lightly with my hands. As soon as he took one more step, But the man stopped. The twins were deep in conversation at the door, and they didn't even notice me at all, nor did they look like they were about to shut the door. I listened more carefully. They seemed to be talking about a recent check of all of the prison housing. They mentioned that the check had found all kinds of weapons, gambling chips, and drugs in the cells and public activity room. They even found a dance mat. They lamented that ever since the new warden had been assigned here, Hong Kong Central Prison had been more and more corrupted. Back when Warden Chris was in charge, everything in the prison had to be running quite smoothly, even though Warden Chris was a strange man too. These days, nobody here even cared about the inexplicable death of an inmate. But one day something similar happened to some unlucky guard, and the twins decided that they would be ready to resign just for their own safety. I was still listening when they suddenly stopped talking. A hand appeared in the edge of the door and slowly pulled it open. Then I saw a gun pointing right at me through the open door. Damn it! Thank God I had this hat on me, otherwise, ew. The guard zipped his pants back up, put an arm around Hotaru's shoulder, and said something to him. However, I couldn't hear anything as he was too quiet. Right at that moment, I heard gunshots coming from the door of the monitor room. Hold on a second. Morgan unzipped his pants and started doing his thing. Oh no, that was, oh God, my heart thumped in my throat. I didn't know how Carlos did it, but fortunately everything stayed quiet below the window. Thank God. Morgan zipped his pants back up. I pulled him closer to me and led him to a dark corner. This way, Morgan would not notice the other two people climbing out of the window. Besides, I had one last request before leaving. We had barely taken 2 steps when we heard gunshots come from the monitor room. It wasn't loud, but Morgan had clearly heard it. What the hell were those two doing down there? We were so screwed. Okay, well, at least this time it wasn't Carlos's fault. There was a syringe in his hand. Okay, so at least we got rid of the syringe this time. Pull my cap lower. This time he won't get peed on either. Okay. I held my breath, pushed my back against the wall, and grabbed the door lightly with my hands. As soon as he took one more step, I would... But the man stopped. And then I heard the sound of liquid dripping down on the ground. And I saw a stream of something yellow through the crack in the door. It was painting a peculiar map on the ground, set to the guards whistling. This prison was a place that was filled with all kinds of perversion and the twisted mentality of society. Some of the guards here eventually developed some nasty habits as coping mechanisms to relieve some of their stress. Sometimes literally. The foul smell of the map was making me dizzy. My mind was trying its best to control myself at this crucial moment. But my body betrayed me, and I simply could not stand the disgusting sight that I had just witnessed. I threw up. The undigested dinner was now mixed with the yellow puddle on the ground, turning it into a newer and bigger map. It also ended our prison break. I saw the figure put an arm around Hotaru's shoulder and say something to him. However, I couldn't hear anything as he was too quiet. Right at that moment, I heard gunshots coming from the door in the monitor room. Let's go. I pulled him closer to me, and we went to a dark corner. This way Morgan would not notice. Oh, that photo that you showed me earlier. Can I see it again? He stared blankly at me. It took him a while to understand what I was referring to. He put his hand inside his jacket. Then a gunshot came from the monitor room. It wasn't loud, but Morgan had clearly heard it. What the hell were those two doing there? We were so screwed. Shoot. Oh, this is a tough one, too. All right. Okay. Okay, so pulled my cap lower. Care for a drink. Okay, so this way we can... Carlos will get peed on, but he might be okay. Damn it. Thank God I had this hat on me, otherwise, ew. The guard zipped up his pants and left with Hotaru. As soon as I couldn't hear them, I pushed open the grate and pulled myself up to the ground. We were almost there. Hold on a second. Morgan unzipped his pants, and he started doing his thing without even turning away. Oh no, oh god. My heart jumped in my throat. I didn't know how Carlos did it, but fortunately everything stayed quiet below the window, thank God. Morgan zipped his pants back up. I pulled him closer to me and led him to a dark corner. This way Morgan would not notice the other two people climbing out of the window. Besides, I had one less request before leaving. The photo that you showed me earlier, can I see it again? He stared blankly at me, and it took him a while to understand what I was referring to. Then he put his hand in his jacket, searched for a long time, and pulled out a photo. The woman in the photo was wearing a leather jacket and a pair of jeans. She was walking out of a pharmacy and about to put on her sunglasses. Oh no, this is Alicia, isn't it? The brown face under her cap looked very cold. I was honestly very grateful to Morgan. He had helped me a lot, including finding out the itinerary of my dear friend's last trip to Japan and who he had met and been with during the trip. That was how we found this woman. Yeah, I figured that she was just an assassin, and the person that the housekeeper had mentioned must have paid her. I swore I would not let either of them get away. You want more of me, don't you? If so, give me a kiss. That was good. Half a month ago, Carlos confessed to me that the reason that he wanted to escape was to find his sister. He even showed me a picture of her. I just wanted to confirm that it was the same person in both photos. And now I was 100%. Morgan grabbed my shoulders. The smell of alcohol and other odors were getting stronger and stronger, enough that it was making me sick. His tall body was leaning towards me, closer and closer, and then he fell on the ground with a thud. I saw a dagger in his back. The blade had sunk deep into his body where his heart was. Pi crouched down and wiped off the blood on his hands with Morgan's clothes, all while having a disgusted expression on his face. Well, we shouldn't stay here for too long. Follow me. Carlos ran towards the storage room in the corner of the yard. He had hidden some tools there to get over the walls. I looked at Morgan one last time before I followed. The photo was still stuck firmly in my hand. I didn't need it anymore. I would never forget that face. I held my breath, pushed my back against the wall, and grabbed at the door lightly with my hands. As soon as he took one more step, I would. But the man stopped. I peeked through the crack in the door and saw the guard in front turning his back to his brother to ask, "Which one?" "It's the new bar on Bay Road. You haven't been there, have you?" "No, have you?" "Of course not. I heard it from Morgan. He said that the girls there were super hot and..." "Oh, that sounds like fun." The subject seemed to have excited the twins a lot. Their footsteps continued again just outside the door, only this time they were going further away from me. After we got out of Hong Kong Central Prison, the three of us were all crammed into a car driven by a friend of Carlos. We were driving on the roads that usually didn't have any cops and talking about our plans. Carlos intended to stay in Hong Kong. He had told me a long time ago that he was only escaping to go and look for his sister. Hotaru was still playing with his phone, and he said that he was going to stay too. I thought about it for a while and finally decided to leave Hong Kong. If I had to guess, the news of me breaking out of prison would soon be broadcast to the entire island. I could imagine the lovely expressions on those evil people who thought that they had escaped my judgment when they heard the news of my going to prison. I had planted the seed of fear in them, and they would no longer require any extra care from me. The darkness inside humans' hearts would make sure that it kept growing and blossoming. What I needed to do was to plant more seeds all around this vast world. So, I got out of the car somewhere near the port. My dear friends, farewell. And with the sound of a ship's horn booming between the clouds and the ocean, I climbed up onto the cargo ship that was about to set off on its voyage. She would be taking me to my next destination. I hoped that I would have more new and interesting encounters in a new and exciting world. Beast out of the cage. All rank S. Beautiful. Oh, let's take a look at you. You're so cute! Birthday is July 9th, apparently. Residence, Shinjuku-ku, Tokyo, Japan. Name, Tachibana Hotaru. He's a geisha. Bribed the police to intentionally get locked inside Hong Kong Central Prison. At 19, escaped from Hong Kong Central Prison with Hotaru and Pi. I think this is supposed to say Carlos and Pi. People who created this game. You screwed up a little bit. Whoops. Meh. Meh. Here we go. We got some extra stuff. Left Mexico to find his older sister in Hong Kong. Joined the Black Dragon Gang. Visit to Hong Kong expired. Deported to his home. Appeared mentally unstable when found. Managed to escape from Hong Kong Central Prison alongside Hotaru and Pai. Here you go. I'm assuming nothing of interest here. Escaped from Hong Kong Central Prison alongside 2 inmates, Hotaru and Carlos. Cool. Alright, well, this is a long episode, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos from me, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.